Gung-ho reaction, a topic taboo. Hey there, kids, it's Folie.
I'll tell you one thing.
Tell me two things.
You looked like you were about to open your mouth and I beat you to it.
I was.
We're here. That's my first thing.
We're here and we are... I mean, it's a miracle.
It is a miracle. It took us a lot of fighting within ourselves because it's not that we don't love this podcast.
No, and it's not that we don't love talking a whole lot.
And it's not that we don't love you, most of all, listener. It's that we've got a lot going on right now.
And we love hair dye.
We love crazy new color experiments.
We love our new podcasting moo-moos. What?
What?
Podcasting moo-moos?
Can you hear how cute we look?
I know they can.
I know they can too.
Oh my gosh. Mine is a nice navy blue with some deep purple, light purple, no, green, some purple flowers, white flowers.
Like rusty orange.
Yes, my favorite color of like rusty mustardy orange on the top, like the collar and the sleeves.
With black details. And somebody sewed this thing. Somebody made it with a sewing machine in their home, from what I can tell.
Ugh, it's incredible. Amy, describe yours.
Mine is like sort of a Hawaiian print.
Yes.
It is sort of a periwinkle, bluish, purpley.
I would definitely say, you keep saying
I
periwinkle
keep saying
blue.
it's blue. It's probably
100% purple.
I have weird ways of interpreting colors. I really think so.
Yeah.
Or maybe I have weird ways of seeing color.
It's like a
'cause you would
lavender.
never know. It's like a periwinkle lavender.
Yes, we'll go with that. It's got the cutest little kind of Peter Pan-esque collar.
Yes, I love a Peter Pan collar.
Me too.
It's got these cute little rhinestones on the collar.
on the collar.
It's amazing.
Ugh.
And I found it all at an antique shop in downtown Rogers called the Rusty Chair.
Oh.
There are more if you want to get some, but get there quickly because I'm going to go back and get them all.
They're so amazing.
I have been looking for something like this for so long, and there they were,
Just waiting.
just waiting expectantly.
You know, my favorite teacher in high school, Mr. McNorton.
He wore moo-moos.
No, he's Hawaiian.
Oh.
And his mom wore moo-moos. And he lived with her or around her or something. I don't know. He's very close with her. And he brought me back one time an old Hawaiian moo-moo. He brought me into school one day because he thought I'd love it. Had hibiscus on it. My tramp stamp is a hibiscus flower dedicated to everything that I learned from him. And
Wow, you gotta.
it's not really a tramp stamp. It's like more in the middle of my back.
It's
kind of.
It just sounds very.
It sounds awful when you say that, and then it's dedicated to
my
my
high
school
school
teacher. Oh my god, that really does sound so bad. But
it's not.
It
the
wasn't
case
anything like
at
that.
all. This guy is completely
Normal,
legit, non-pervy.
No, no, he was never ever inappropriate in any kind of way.
Maybe Melody was a little inappropriate with him.
I might have been. I did indeed get a tramp stamp for him.
I mean,
No,
who of us hasn't gotten a tattoo on our butts for a high school art teacher?
Shut up! I hate you.
But I just thought about that. I bet you, because I like to think about where these things came from that you find in an antique store. I think they came from a Hawaiian woman, don't you?
I bet so.
They look so Hawaiian.
They really do. They're gorgeous. If you want to see them, you could follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, mommy. Oh my god.
Okay, who's got the issues? Mommy?
Okay, I'm around
I
my
call
children.
my mom mommy. It's whatever.
I'm around my kids all the time. No, I was referring to myself. I refer to myself in the third person as mommy.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say something about how I was super awkward in the photos. I think I was going to say, Mommy's super awkward. It just takes it to a whole new level.
They are our little dewdrops.
Yes, they are.
So, guys,
I'm your mommy.
Your mommies are very awkward.
We are.
And we're your podcast mommies.
We're your podcast mommies, and we really hope that you are encouraged by the fact that we are still functioning in society.
I just came up with a new podcast idea.
Oh, tell me.
Pod moms.
Pod moms?
I mean, and we talk about the shit that we shouldn't as moms. I don't know.
We should just have a pod mom segment.
Let's have a pod mom segment.
Let's do it. You want to do it right now?
On this episode of Pod Moms, we talk about our inappropriate relationships with high school teachers and how we still think about them today.
And carry the evidence on our sweet heinies.
Shit, I need a beer.
Yeah, I do too. Our assistant's going to get us a beer.
He's out running right now.
Is he?
He's been gone for like 15 minutes. Where is he?
He's getting food too, so I'll give him another 5.
Maybe. That's pushing it.
Throw down the gauntlet.
Jeez.
So it is yet another week closer to my favorite holiday. And it's been a good one, I have to say.
It has been a good week.
Yeah. The weather has gotten very chilly, and then it got warm again, and now it's chilly again because we live in Arkansas. The only problem was the very first time it got chilly, it dropped like 20 degrees.
It was so cold.
It was cold. It was like downright like you need a coat, not just a jacket.
It went from, not kidding, 89 the day before
sweltering,
to like
humid
55 degrees.
Yeah. And in doing so, I woke up for 2 days in a row with terrible vertigo. The worst I've ever had.
She's not talking about the movie.
No, I love that movie. I'll never call it terrible.
No.
So I started like not being able to walk straight as soon as I got out of bed.
Oh.
And then I picked up my daughter and I kind of fell against the wall, just like anytime I would lean down and get back up really fast. So I started looking up symptoms of vertigo, and I have to be honest right now with our listeners that I think I may have an explanation for the ghost pirate wall from last episode.
Oh no.
So last episode, I was pretty sure that I was being pulled in by a haunted wall.
Yeah.
In Eureka Springs when I was going down a steep stone staircase.
I mean, so very steep.
So very steep. Well, I felt like I was being magnetically just like yanked towards this wall, and we thought it was bizarre because it was in a very haunted area that we couldn't think of an explanation for it. One of the symptoms of vertigo is the feeling of being pulled to one side.
Yes, and it especially is going to happen if you're going down, I mean, very steep stairs, and we're talking like probably 50.
Yeah, it was a lot of
very
stairs.
Tall, and we had been drinking a little.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
a lot of bit. So we may have debunked the ghost pirate. I mean, I didn't feel any other vertigo that day, but the fact that it hit me so hard 2 days later.
Yeah, maybe it was coming on.
Maybe it was coming on.
Dang it.
The only other option is maybe I was haunted after that, and I never had vertigo at all. It was
That's
just the ghost
true.
pirate
Like,
was
that
in
just
my
went
blood.
in there.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Yeah,
For
we'll
the
take a
sake
poll,
of the
but
holiday.
holiday.
It is a holiday, right? Technically?
Is it today?
No. Jeez. Crackers. Halloween.
Oh, Halloween.
It's technically.
For the sake of, Halloween's so a holiday.
So totally a
It's
holiday.
the most important holiday there is.
Yeah. Although we don't get out of school for it.
No, which
That's
is
rude.
we should get off the day of and the day after.
Yes.
It just makes sense.
Especially the day after.
Yeah, because everyone's been up late binging on candy and
Yes.
egging houses, and don't do that. That's so bad.
My favorite thing to do when I got home from getting all my candy and goodies on Halloween was to dump them all out and categorize them.
Yes, me too.
Really?
Yes, that was my favorite.
Me too. I couldn't wait to get home and do
Sorting
it.
them.
Yes, putting them into the exact kind.
Yeah, all the Tootsie Rolls, and then the weird colored Tootsie Rolls, and then the really good candy bars by type.
By type, and then possibly, yeah, that's all.
Did you trade
Suckers
with
I
anyone?
Traded when my brother went. I traded with him, and then eventually it was just me, and I got to eat all of it.
You got to eat all of it. Here's the funny thing, and I see this in my son too, is I don't have like a huge sweet tooth. I get strong cravings.
Yeah.
But I can go a long time without eating sweets.
Right.
So I think I enjoyed obtaining the candy and categorizing it more than I enjoyed eating it.
Yeah, and the thing is, I kept it for a really long time too. So I think it was kind of the same here, and we do it still to this day with my kiddos, and then the candy sits there till the next year. We just throw it out eventually.
Same here. We just finally are like, they're never going to eat this. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
I'm curious how much candy I'm going to need at my house this year because my husband's building a full-fledged attraction in our yard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a haunted house.
Yeah.
The theme is like Bendy and the Ink Machine, which is like a haunted ink factory from like the 1920s. And it's
cool.
amazing.
And it's going to be incredible. You're going to need so much candy.
Oh my gosh.
I wish that mine would do that, like to where we could do something and pass out the treats.
But your neighborhood is not really.
No, but it could be. We could bring it. I mean, it used to be, and even when it used to be full of houses and nice people, nobody ever came.
Yeah, that's so disappointing.
It really is. But I think it also, like when I was growing up, our whole town was kind of like just a big neighborhood. You could walk them down the streets, go to the next street.
Same here.
Here, it really isn't. Around your house, it kind of is. Like
It
you
kind
can
of
go a
is
few
'cause,
blocks.
yeah, it's like this big neighborhood connected to another one right next to it.
Yeah.
And people they realize that you get good candy there.
That's
so
where
we get a
we've
lot of
gone.
people.
Yeah.
It's great. It's safe.
Yes.
We've never had any problems. Although I don't see that many people decorating this year. Granted, maybe not everyone starts 4.5 weeks early.
Well, I mean, but we are getting a lot closer.
We're getting close. People need to look alive.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. We can't hold up the whole neighborhood.
Ugh. Should we tell them about the creepy thing that happened on our drive to Sally's?
Yes, because it stopped after that.
Yeah. Okay. We were driving. I was driving, and I hear this.
Yeah, like just like hand tapping on the.
Just tapping, like.
Yeah.
On the top of. It sounded like. Listen. It sounded so much like it was on the top of my car, like from the outside, that I immediately put my hand up to the ceiling of my car and was like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
And Amy was like, "What is that? It sounds like it's on the roof." And I was like, "I know, what's going on?" So it kind of goes away. We keep driving.
It does it again.
And she, when
Since
we
we were
finally
at a
get to a stoplight, she gets out and looks at the roof, crawls through the window and looks, and there's nothing up there.
Nothing there. Nothing going on. No signs of any strange activity.
Like no stick stuck up there.
Yeah, I was expecting like maybe there was a string or a stick or a bird, a crazy bird hanging on. I don't know.
Do you think that with all of the weird research we've done, like we're getting followed by things?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this. Today when I was researching my subject, there were pictures. There were pictures of the things that I'm going to talk about. And I felt like something was entering into my room through my computer. I was like, I don't want to look at this stuff.
This is so creepy. I cannot wait to hear, and I'm also scared to hear. I want to go ahead and say that it's a good thing that I'm starting this week because mine is not terribly creepy. It is creepy. When you think about it, when you think of what was going on, it is creepy, but it's not necessarily like a scary story or anything like that. I found it and was so intrigued. I was going to do, and I still am going to do at some point, MK Ultra.
Yes.
That was going to be what my thing was. I wanted to tie it in with Elisa Lam, but it's
overwhelming.
It's overwhelming how much information there is. I need to research it for a few weeks and really have some detailed things, and like I know what story I'm. Anyway, it's just I don't feel confident enough to put enough into it, but it is coming for those of you who might be interested. MK Ultra.
I'm interested. I know very little about it.
It's so crazy and fascinating, and it's just insane to think that it was a real thing. And you have to be kind of, delusional to think that it isn't still happening.
I agree.
Yeah.
Or that it is. Basically, everyone is delusional.
That's true.
If you're worried about it, you're obviously a crackpot. If you're not worried about it, you're delusional.
Exactly.
Just choose your side, people.
Choose the right one.
Yeah. So, are we gonna get into this thing?
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do it. Should we? Did Josh walk in?
Did he? I heard something.
I did too.
I thought I heard Jake, the dog. For those of you who are wondering,
The dog.
the dog.
The doggy. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. If we have to pause, fine.
First, you want to hear something weird now that I brought up your dog?
Yeah.
I think I may have told you this before, but I don't know if you remember. So I have a giant white dog named Maximus. He's a Great Pyrenees. And I used to have reoccurring dreams that he was playing with a giant black dog.
Isn't that insane? Why have we still yet to get them together?
Yes, she has a giant black dog. And I remember saying to Vu, like, someday we're going to meet a giant black dog.
We've got we have to get them together.
We need a photo shoot with the four of us.
Yes.
Photographer
Aww.
friends, we know we have you.
We should just get them together and even just take pictures of them.
Yeah, we should. Especially because they're getting older.
Yes, they are. Oh,
They're good people, guys.
they're good.
Okay,
So, I want to paint a picture for you.
I'm ready.
Think of something that we both truly love doing so very much.
Oh, the first thing that came to mind was dancing.
You're right. Sounds great, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about a dancing plague?
What would that entail? I'm picturing skeletons.
Well,
I'm picturing lots of scary stuff.
well, picture this. It's Europe. The year is around 1020.
Probably one of the worst times in history to live. I'm sure everything
Yes.
smelled horrible.
Everything's all plaguey.
Almost everyone died before they even got out of infancy.
Just so much famine.
Poop in the street. I'm sorry, but it's true.
No, it is true.
Dead animals
That's
everywhere.
when you picture people wearing those giant raven masks, you know?
Yeah, and the wenches are walking around. I don't know what a wench is
Everybody
exactly.
cackles.
Beer wenches are cackling in your face.
Yeah,
and the men have no teeth. And that's not even
color
weird.
hasn't
Those are the
even-
hot ones.
Color hasn't been invented yet.
No, of course not.
No. It's around Christmas time in Germany. 1020. A bunch of people at a Christmas mass
Oh, God.
start dancing.
Oh,
Just
Lord
dancing.
Almighty.
And they disrupt church service, and they can't stop. They just can't stop dancing, okay?
So far it sounds a lot like us.
I know. I know. 1237. A group of children in Germany in a town that I cannot and will not try to pronounce start dancing. Just a group of children start dancing, can't stop. And they dance from that one said town that I cannot pronounce to another town that I cannot pronounce, that when I Google mapped them were around 4 hours apart from each other.
Oh my goodness.
They danced their way from one town to the other.
They basically did a full day of Zumba training,
Yeah.
but they didn't want to be there.
In 1278, another town in Germany, 200 people start dancing near a bridge. And of course, in that time, the bridges were not capable of holding 200 people.
They were probably made of straw
I
and
know.
dirt.
And maybe hair,
Maybe
like
hair.
a lot of times
Yeah.
that's the only fiber they had
And
then.
sticks.
And of course, the bridge collapsed.
Of course it
Killed
did.
a bunch of people.
Ugh.
Okay, but these weird little outbursts of dancing just kept happening in these towns all across Europe, just peppered throughout the European countries. Okay,
That's terrifying. I mean, seriously, if you saw that,
it'd be so weird,
especially with the children. Like, were they like, please, mommy, I want to stop and I can't? Like,
that's the thing is, I don't know. Like, it's been, what I read is that they just were, it's not like they were, I don't know, like they weren't talking. They were just like dancing around, flailing around. The most famous of these instances, the dancing plague, dancing mania was what it was also called. And
that's the name of our studio.
no.
Oh, no.
This is the name of our studio. Choreomania.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's like a thing.
It is. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
So the most famous was in July of 1518 when a woman named Frau Truffaut.
I love Frau.
Frau Truffaut in Francais, stepped outside and started getting jiggy with it. I mean, she didn't look happy about it. She wasn't excited.
So weird.
But she's got boogie fever, if you will.
I will.
So she just kept going and going. Like, she just kept dancing.
Like all night?
No, for a week.
So she was moonwalking.
By the end of the week, the party of one, Miss Frau Truffaut, was now a party of 30.
Oh my gosh.
30 people in the town are dancing uncontrollably.
What the hell?
Within a month, guess.
32 at least.
Over 400 people are dancing around uncontrollably.
What?
They dance all day and all night nonstop. It's ridiculous. Like they can't stop.
What a nightmare.
It's so weird. Like, it sounds so freaking made up because
Yeah.
I mean, just stop dancing.
Yeah,
you know what I
just
mean?
Stop. Like, you gotta eat. You gotta go to the bathroom.
Right. So because of that, because they weren't stopping at all, many people started dropping just like flies.
Dance till you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what that song is about.
I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
People died of dehydration,
Yeah.
exhaustion,
As they would.
even those who were less fit of heart attacks and strokes. So they called doctors, they called priests, they had no idea.
Nobody knows what to do,
could,
right?
you know, what was
Right?
going
No
on or
holy
how
water is
to
helping.
cure it.
No
Well, I'm
amount
with
of
them.
Right?
saging.
No yelling and holding up crosses. I'm
No
assuming.
lobotomies.
Did they do that? I don't know. We'll assume they did.
Some thought it was a curse from Saint Vitus,
Ooh.
the saint of epilepsy. Why the meep do they
Yeah.
have a saint for epilepsy?
See, Vitus makes me think like vitality.
I know.
Vivacious, like the saint of liveliness. But
It makes me think of the Midas touch, but that's
they had the Vitus
the
touch.
Vidas touch. Yeah. And so they also thought maybe it was the moon, but
Always the moon.
it was going on longer than a month. So they were like, rule
Scratch
that out,
that.
scratch it. Yep. So then doctors decided that it was hot blood. Hot blood, whatever the meep. Oh,
My beer jumped off the side table,
leapt to its doom.
and there was screaming,
You might have heard it
running around.
frantically.
No, it's fine. It's like nothing ever happened.
No. Doctors decided it was hot blood.
Oh yes, hot blood.
What?
Those doctors knew their stuff.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And then the treatment for that was bleeding.
Of course, the treatment for every freaking thing was
Bleeding. Yeah. But, they decided that wasn't a good idea. So they encouraged them, Amy.
Oh no.
They encouraged the town to keep dancing.
You know what?
Okay.
Is that some kind of like what's the word? Not aversion therapy.
Yeah, I mean,
it could be.
Yeah.
Like, fine. If you're
if you
rebelling,
can't cure it,
let's all dance.
yeah.
Let's dance our butakis off.
So, get this. They started opening dance halls. They built a stage in the square.
Wow.
They brought in a band to play some music to go
Holy,
along.
that must have been the most miserable dance party ever.
I know. Oh my God. And after a month or so, they just stopped
Wow.
or died.
Either way, problem
Solved-ish.
solved-ish.
So why? Why did this happen?
Why? Mass hysteria? A virus? Possession? You're the one with the
You
paper.
name it.
I need to stop talking.
You name it. I mean, they thought all of those things, to be
Oh.
honest. So some believe that it could have been bread mold. There was a certain type of mold that grew on this rye bread, sweet seed, I don't know, whatever.
Everything sucked back then.
It caused seizures and hallucinations.
Oh,
So
God.
they thought maybe that. They thought maybe it was a dancing cult and that they were seducing everyone with dance.
Well, that's us.
Yeah. But mainly they came to realize and just say that it was because of stress.
Wow.
That due to, that time of, in that time there was so much famine, there was
Misery.
disease, there were plagues after
Yeah.
plague after plague. And one person just kind of started and the
Sorry,
other-
it's not funny.
it's
awful.
not, it's ridiculous. One person started and then the rest kind of just started following, and it relieved stress, but it also caused this death. Like, they just couldn't stop. There have also been these weird, like, it's happened even more recently.
Really?
Not so much with the dancing, but there was a place I can't remember where I read. I should have written it down. But a school, like, one girl started laughing hysterically.
I think I've heard of this, actually.
Yeah. And the whole school ended up, like, all of the students, not the
They couldn't
teachers,
stop.
they couldn't stop. They had to shut down the school. And up to, I think it was like 17 different schools in neighboring areas had the same thing happen at the same
so
time.
Bizarre.
Yes.
I mean, it makes you think there is some kind of, like, something that's getting into their brain chemistry.
Some kind of,
like impulse control
maybe they
kind
were
of.
swimming in a funky lake or
Yeah.
pond and they got a parasite of some
Parasite,
sort.
brain parasite.
Yeah.
That sounds about right to me.
Me too. I think
Although-
we solved it.
I think we kind of went through that in the car the other night.
Yeah.
We can save that for our good weird. I don't know.
Yeah. But in the end, they decided, there's a couple things. So there were some treatments, right? What did they do to fix it? They did kind of like binding, like a mummy. They binded people like mummies were like swaddling.
Yeah, so they desperately
basically
wanted to
swaddled
move
them.
and they had to swaddle them. I mean, maybe they
And a
maybe
lot of
they
people
found
said it
calming.
helped. Like, it
Yeah.
helped the urge to subside. Some people
Wow.
asked to be punched or stomped on in the stomach.
Oh my god.
That relieved the urge. So it also makes you think that it wasn't coming from their brains. It was coming from something in their gut making them want to move.
Weird.
Maybe dancing was the only relief, or being like punched or swaddled.
Yeah.
Then there was a dude, a little meep head.
Oh no. Are you trying to say his name?
Yes. Paracelsus.
Paracelsus?
Paracelsus.
Let's go with it.
He was a physician and an alchemist, and he recommended his own cure for the dancing disease. He labeled the sufferers as whores and scoundrels.
Oh, as you do.
And felt that they should be treated as awfully as he named them.
Oh no.
First, he insisted that they should be locked in a dark room. The more unpleasant room, the better. And second, the victims should fast on and only be allowed to eat bread and water.
What a turd.
Yeah. And then the one that's kind of become most, like, widely, I guess, accepted as what it probably was or could have been was trantism. I should have figured out how to say these words first.
Trantism?
Trantism, like tarantula.
Oh, tarantism?
Tarantism. So these people were bit by a spider,
Oh.
and then apparently then you had to dance to the right music. You had to dance the right dance to the right music, and it would cure you.
Oh,
Or
I'd be
you could jump
screwed.
into water. Or you could drink wine.
Oh, well, there are a lot of cures. That's good to know.
Yeah. So
I think the second two sound way easier than the first.
well, basically my thought is this sounds like a pretty cool damn disease, and the
Yeah.
cure sounds even better. Like,
exactly.
drink
it sounds
some
like
wine.
a Saturday night.
yeah, it sounds like what we're doing right now. We just got bathed by beer,
That's true.
and then we're drinking beer, not
I
wine,
mean,
but
close enough.
and we love dancing.
We
I'll
love
take it all.
dancing, and we do get addicted to dancing.
I mean, I know that this wasn't a creepy story. Maybe I dropped the ball here a
It
little
was
bit.
You did not. It
But
was
I
super
thought it was
creepy.
so weird. Like, just the thought of seeing, for one person, like seeing the one person start dancing, and you're like,
What?
this girl's a freak. What's happening to her? Or this girl's awesome. I don't know. But in 15, 18, I'm sure they're like, this girl's a freak. What's
when
happening?
there's no music and
When there's no music, she doesn't look happy about it. She's just like moving all about, gyrating. And then person after person, maybe they...
I want to see. I want to know what it looked like.
Me
I
too.
really do.
I really do too.
Like, did it really even look like dancing, or was it more like convulsions? And
I
they called it
know.
dancing because back in 15, 18, they didn't
what type of
know
dancing
how
did
to
they have?
twerk or
Yeah. Could you imagine what
do the
the
Charleston or
dance plague would look like right now?
That'd be
would.
nasty.
Yeah.
I would like it a lot.
I would enjoy it.
Yeah. Although, okay, here's the thing I think about, which if it was anything like this, it's so awful. Have you ever had restless leg syndrome?
I haven't.
Okay, it's the worst.
I have, like, you and my friend Stephanie have had it. What is that like?
It's torturous, and it's so strange, but it is the uncontrollable urge. For me, it was usually like often when I was pregnant, and it would be when I was lying down in bed trying to go to sleep. I could not stop moving my legs. Like, this urge to just constantly move your legs.
Like, you feel it in your legs, or do you feel it in your body? Does that make sense?
So hard to explain, but you feel it. You feel it in your legs.
Mhm.
Like there's something that.
Does it hurt?
No, it's just you can't stop. It's so weird. And then you can't sleep because your legs just won't, you just can't stop moving your legs.
I wonder if this was like a type of restless leg syndrome.
That's what I'm picturing.
Like,
And like if it was like a really, really severe form of it, it is like torture.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so what's strange is that, like, it went to so many people.
Yeah.
Like, it was some sort of virus because it was passed on, like, seemingly
Yeah.
passed on from person to person, but it sounds like it has the same kind of
It does.
weird symptoms. That's so crazy
It's
to
so
me.
weird. And but it's weird that other people saw it and they started doing it, or were they all just infected by the same thing
That's
in the
my
same
thought.
area and
Yeah.
they grouped together as humans do?
And then it just started, like, one after, like, she just happened to be the first person. It's just like catching the flu or getting a
Yeah.
cold. Like, you just happened to be the first in your household that caught
Patient
it.
one.
Everybody else,
Yeah.
then everybody else got it. I don't know.
So that's the dancing plague of.
The dancing plague of 1518.
I like it so much. Ooh, we just. Sorry.
Is that from Jess?
We were getting. I think we got a text from the Zumba girl. Fittingly enough.
Fun.
I liked it, and I think it's horrifying. This episode of Folie Deux is brought to you by the month-long Paracelsus diet.
In the Paracelsus diet, you'll be forcibly locked into a cold basement, like the whore that you are.
And only fed dry bread and water, which are known to be low in calories and taste.
If that doesn't work, you can add on for a small monthly fee.
Where we will release you to dance from town to town. You'll be joined by many like-minded
Freaks.
and you are guaranteed to see results.
Or drop dead.
You
Either
don't
way,
really care.
you won't care either.
No one cares. Give us your money. Paracelsus. I would rather deal with what I'm about to share with you
Oh,
than
then
the dancing plague.
tell me about it, stud.
This is all about haunted objects.
Oh,
Specifically, haunted dolls.
you went like I sucked,
No.
and you went all for it.
You'll see, because I wish that I had had time to do more research, but I didn't, so I picked two of the most famous cases.
Mhm.
And I'll start by explaining my inspiration for this.
Okay.
We'll get more into this later, but I got to meet a doo-doo head for the first time. I mean, I've met several doo-doo heads, but one that I've never met before.
Yeah.
Our Dewdrop Christoph.
Nikolai,
Catsup.
whatever you want to call
The
him.
man of many names.
Mhm.
And he lives in the coolest house I've ever seen. It's
Barn?
it's a small barn
He
converted
built.
into a house.
Mhm.
And it is filled with the most fascinating, cool, creepy objects. Like, I just wanted to walk around in it, just like stare at every little thing.
Mhm.
And the thing that caught my attention the most, besides the infant casket,
Ugh.
but I'm assuming that there was never a child
There
in
couldn't
it.
have been. It'd be in the ground now.
Yeah, the kid took a turn for the better, and they kept it as a memento
Yeah.
of yay,
Yay.
yay. And
Unless there's a baby mummy in it.
oh god, you know what? Honestly,
I wouldn't put it past
From what I
him.
know of Christoph, he'd be like, yeah, of course there is.
Honestly, I think that this might be due to his new wife.
Yes, he just got married. It's true. It may not just be Chris. I say knowing Christoph. Like, I've known him for a million years. I know that he likes interesting old things.
Yes.
Because of the barn and the house and everything. But I think that his very interesting new lady,
His lady.
his lady love, collects these things too. These
Mhm.
macabre, interesting artifacts.
Right.
And one of the things she had that I immediately just seized upon, whether
Yeah.
I wanted to or not, and I had to just walk right over to it. I think I picked it up without even thinking, which was
you manhandled it.
I manhandled it, which was really rude to do to an antique. I know, but I didn't
No,
know
I mean
what
it
was
was
happening.
it was in a arm's length of
Yes,
like
it was
reach
too.
me.
You gotta expect, if you're gonna have me around stuff like that, I'm gonna
Also,
touch it.
those things that are notoriously haunted
Hmm.
do reach out to certain people.
I felt like it was reaching
I
out
have
to
a
me.
story with this.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear it.
Yes, after.
So I totally felt like this thing was reaching out to me. I said it. I was like, I'm very attracted to this object, even though I'm scared of it.
Yeah.
And what it was it looked like a handmade doll, but it was
Mhm.
a clown. And it was, oh man, why didn't we get a picture
It
of
was
it?
so patched together
Yeah.
and just
It is old, and it has been very loved, or for whatever reason kept alive for many, many years.
yeah.
It had like bright colors, like I think yellows and reds and
Mhm.
oranges, but they were all faded. And it was just creepy AF.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy as meep. And we were just like, of course this thing is haunted. I mean, there's absolutely no way it's not haunted.
Right.
And that night we were at the wedding ceremony. It was lovely. We'll talk more about it later. But at one point I asked Mel to please come with me to the bathroom
Uh-huh.
because it was in the building next door that was empty. And I had this very strong feeling that I was going to open the door and that clown thing was going to be
Yeah.
sitting there. It wasn't. Probably because I brought someone with me.
Yes,
It ran
would've
away
been.
when it
Exactly.
hurt.
I scared it.
So I had one experience with a doll attacking me when I was a child.
I actually did too.
Oh my gosh.
Not really attacking me, but
Oh, I've got to hear it.
yeah.
So, it was a troll doll, and it always kind of freaked me out. It
Like
was like
The
those
belly
little
jewels,
trolls.
hair,
Yeah,
in
and
the
it was
air.
pretty
Okay.
big. I remember it had purple hair,
Uh-huh.
and this one just always kind of freaked me out. And one day before my sisters got home from school, when I was so young that I was like the only one home,
Mm-hmm.
very frequently left to my own devices.
Same.
I mean, my mom was somewhere in the house, but I would basically turn on the radio and listen to songs all day long and make my dolls act out the songs.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember getting this freaky feeling. I'm in my bedroom playing on the bunk bed, and all of a sudden that troll doll flies up at me and hits me with so much force.
What?
And yeah, I just sat there like completely stunned. Like, this did not just happen. There's no way this just happened.
Oh.
And I just looked at it. It was just the ordinary doll. And there was nobody anywhere around.
Oh my gosh.
And it was almost like it was so sudden and so strange that I didn't even run. I just sat there.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I like walked down and I like told my mom about it, and she's like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't think she believed me,
Yeah.
but I'll never forget it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I know.
creepy.
Do you want to tell me yours?
So my mom had these two ceramic, I don't know how to describe them without becoming a racist.
You can just say, like, it was a kind of doll of the time. I think I know what you mean. Like,
It wasn't necessarily a doll.
mhm.
They were these porcelain statues
Mhm.
of like maybe Japanese soldier looking.
Interesting.
But they were like all white, but then they'd have their outfit was like
kind of like samurai-ish or
kind of samurai-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were strange,
Mhm.
weird, and I never really liked them. I don't know where she got them.
Yeah. And even if the dolls themselves were racist, you're not racist for describing them.
I
Just gonna
know.
say that.
I mean,
But it's awkward. Like, you just don't know if you're going to upset somebody.
I don't know because I don't
Yeah.
know like where they come from, what they were supposed to be,
Yeah, that's
especially
bizarre.
this many years later. I'm not
Mhm.
really sure. So at least they didn't say Oriental, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a story about that.
So these statues, whatever they were, always kind of freaked me out. But I can so vividly remember, and I was a child who I heard things all the time. I saw
Mhm.
things all the time. And my mom will be the first to tell you that I was not BSing when I
Mhm.
said I saw something.
Mm-hmm.
I really genuinely did. And I watched those two not dolls,
God.
statues. They were up on, like, she had a dresser that had this mirror that attached to it and had these shelves on the side. It later became mine. And the top of it, you could put, like, whatever on top, or you could not do that. Anyway, she had those on top of it. And I can remember, like, seeing them scoot across
Oh,
the
God.
top
Oh,
of, like, across where the top of the mirror.
that's so creepy, especially seeing them in the mirror.
Yes. And I freeze and I
Mhm.
screamed and had my mom come in
Oh.
and it was like, probably like she probably thought it was a ploy to get her in there because
Yeah.
I didn't want to sleep by myself.
Mhm.
I was already sleeping in her room. And so she was
Mhm.
probably just like, you're already in here. Dang it. Like,
Yeah, like, what else can I do for you?
yeah. But I so remember that happening. We also had we had so many creepy dolls. My grandmother
Mhm.
collected porcelain dolls. She collected precious moments.
Mm.
My mom had a life-size, like a 5-year-old kid sized doll.
Oh, God.
I think she probably still has it. That was in the closet for so long. I'd always turn it around and have it facing the corner because it scared the meep out of me. It
I
scared
don't
me
blame
so
you.
bad. But then I had other dolls that didn't scare me at all. Some
Yeah.
of them really freaked me out. Others were like, nah, they're fine.
Isn't that interesting, too?
Mhm.
Like, why one doll is so much scarier than another?
Yeah. It's so weird.
There's something about, I mean, there's the whole idea of haunted objects. Like, you hear all the time about cursed objects, but there's something about dolls specifically that it just does something to people, whether you believe it's real or not.
Yes. I 100% agree. There's nobody that you can talk to that won't say that
Mhm.
dolls, especially those old
Mm-hmm.
1800 style, like,
Yes.
ugh.
And
they're-
there's just so much history there, too. And you
Yes.
don't know, like, what it's been through and all the births and the deaths. And it's like they pick up psychic energy or something.
Yes, and items are oftentimes more haunted
Mhm.
than houses.
Than
things. Yeah.
We know a person who's haunted, our friend
Oh
Shayla,
my
and
gosh.
we're going to get her on the podcast.
So I suggest that next week we do just stories, because we both have kind of
Yes.
stories, and maybe we bring Shayla in to tell her story because it is
Yes.
so, I mean, not just like a story from each of us,
Mhm.
because we have so many of them between
Yeah.
all three of us, but hers is like happening right now and so crazy.
It's been going on for years, and it is very much still going on.
Oh my God. I am like, I haven't stopped thinking about it.
Me
Anyway,
either.
I'm going to let you talk. I'm so sorry.
Yes, no, I forgot that I wasn't even talking about
I'm so
anything.
sorry.
No, it's great. So the two stories that I'm going to talk about are two very famous haunted dolls.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably very familiar with the Chucky movies.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
My
And
buddy, my buddy.
And they're-
Wherever I go, he goes.
my buddy,
My buddy,
my buddy,
my buddy, my buddy and me. Brought to you by Mattel.
And Satan.
So a lot of people don't know that Chucky was actually based on a real life doll. So the movie has gotten ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
the series has gotten ridiculous and a lot of fun from what I hear.
Ridiculously
People
awesome.
seem to still enjoy it a lot. But there was a kid named Robert Eugene Otto.
Eugene.
I know, Eugene. He really had the middle name Eugene.
I love it.
It was based on his real life experiences growing up with a cursed voodoo doll in Key West, Florida. So the parents started to notice that Otto often talked to the doll
Mhm.
and would act as if the doll was talking back to him, like he was having real conversations with this doll. And neighbors, when the family wasn't home, started to see the doll moving from window to window.
No, they didn't.
Sometimes when they would see it, they would also hear a very shrill giggle.
Ugh. My eyes are watering down my face.
Now, the Otto family, this is so creepy, started to catch glimpses of the doll scurrying from room to room
Mm-mm.
through doorways.
Mm-mm.
And at night, Eugene would start waking up screaming. His parents would run in his room, and the furniture would be knocked over, things would be broken, and the boy would be crying, saying, "Robert did it." That's the name of the doll. Now, guests who stayed in the family's home also claimed that if you looked at the doll long enough, its expression would change,
Mm-mm.
and they swear they saw it blink.
Uh-uh.
So, Eugene died in 1974.
Oh.
I know. The year my husband was born. That's interesting.
How old was he?
And I don't know. It doesn't say.
Okay.
He
wasn't like a
did
child.
the doll kill him? No, I think he was like, this must have started when he, a long time ago.
Okay.
I mean, well after the dancing plague, but maybe.
Well after.
Yeah, well after. But the doll was left in the attic, apparently. Just left there. And later
As
the
you do.
house was bought again. Now, a 10-year-old girl found Robert the doll in the attic and became his new owner. But it wasn't long before she began screaming out in the night, claiming that Robert was moving from room to room, and even that the doll had tried to attack her.
Ugh.
So now, more than 30 years later, she still swears in interviews that the doll really was alive and it really wanted to kill her.
Mm-mm.
Now, the only interesting thing was, maybe you can dig up this research. I don't know where the doll is now. It doesn't say.
I wonder.
What did she do with it? How did she get rid of it?
Hmm.
Maybe she burned it.
You're not supposed to do that.
No, it never works in the movies.
No, you're supposed to not do that. in
Yeah.
fact.
So you're supposed to totally unburn it, like freeze it.
Like,
if you're
exactly.
going to
the
do
exact
anything.
opposite.
Whatever is the opposite of burning, do that. Freeze it in holy water. The other doll that we're going to talk about is from a movie that I haven't seen, which I really want to see. I think it's actually supposed to be pretty scary. It's called The Conjuring.
We need to do that for movie night.
So yeah, we do. So this was also based on a real life doll.
Ugh.
Now, if you look up pictures of this doll from The Conjuring, they made it look like a really creepy old Victorian doll with kind of
Mhm.
black eyes. It looks really creepy. Apparently, the real life doll that it was based on, though, was just a plain old Raggedy Ann.
Really? Like an
Yeah.
actual Raggedy Ann?
Like an actual Raggedy Ann doll. And I saw a picture
That'd
of
be
it.
more scary.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
Why didn't they keep it? The Raggedy Anns are terrifying.
Yeah.
I can show you a picture of her if you want. I saw it and I was like, oh god. I can show you pictures of both of them. They're creepy.
I want to see. So there are pictures of Robert?
Robert too. I'll post them in the group.
Does it look like a My Buddy doll?
No, it's so creepy looking. It's like all pale, very, very pale, and like the paint is coming off its face. The face you're making. I mean, I don't know what it looked like originally when the boy first got it, but that's what it looked like in the picture. So the interesting thing about Annabelle is
Oh,
yeah,
it's Annabelle.
the doll.
There's
Annabelle.
another movie about her.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, I think a more recent one, maybe. So, a girl named Donna got Annabelle from her mother in the year 1970, and her mom just bought her used at a hobby store. And Donna wasn't a little girl. She was actually a college student at the time, and she was living with a roommate named Angie. They were both nursing students and apparently both really sweet girls. But over time, they noticed that this doll seemed to move on her own. And at first it was really subtle, like she would just change positions, like almost like, oh, it could be your imagination kind of thing. They just wrote it off. But over time it started to increase, and within a few weeks the doll seemed to become fully mobile, like something within it was controlling it.
Mm-mm.
So they would leave the apartment, they would take note that Annabelle was on Donna's bed, for instance, and they'd come home, open the door, and there Annabelle was.
No.
Yes.
It was like you did with the book.
Yeah.
Like, here it is.
Yeah, like,
Let's see.
here it
Yeah.
is. And in my book, it never moved.
No.
But I think that ghost left. I think he was done. I think the book was his goodbye. But they had a friend named Lou, and he hated this doll. Like, as soon as he saw it, he's like, there's something evil about that doll. I hate it. You guys need to get rid of it. And the girls were like, you are being silly. Like, we don't believe in that kind of thing. But soon Annabelle's actions started to get even weirder. And one of the weirdest things that happened was they started to find parchment paper in the house that actually had messages written on it.
No.
The messages would say stuff like, help us, or help Lou, which is strange.
Lou?
Lou, the friend that hated the doll.
Oh.
Now, the weirdest thing about it, well, maybe not the weirdest, but very strange, they had no parchment paper. They couldn't even explain where the paper was coming from with
What?
these messages. So eventually, one night,
Do you think Lou was doing it?
Ooh, what if Lou was doing it?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ooh, I like that idea. That would be such a good explanation.
Yeah.
Okay, let's think about that. Let's put a pin in that.
Okay.
So eventually one night, Donna returned home to find Annabelle in her bed, and there was blood on Annabelle's hands.
And of course they didn't have DNA testing at that time.
Yeah, and the blood, apparently, upon examination, appeared to be coming from the doll itself.
Shut your
Coming
face.
out of the doll. This freaked them out so badly that they brought in a medium
Mm-hmm.
to talk to the doll, to, get a sense, get a reading from it. Well, the medium told them a story. She said, this is actually the spirit of a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins, who was found dead in a field. Many, many years later, this apartment complex was built on that field.
I'm crying.
And the medium said, Annabelle told me she just wants to stay with you and be safe with you.
No, then why is she doing blood and parchment paper?
Indeed, why? The story continues. So the girls were like, okay, well, oh my gosh, that's awful. Let's let her stay. But then Lou, still a good friend of theirs, started to have bad dreams. Dreams that Annabelle was in his bed and that she would wrap her little stuffed hands around his throat and choke him. He would wake up where he could not breathe. And one day, they were all in the living room, talking, chatting, whatever. And they start to hear someone moving around in Donna's room. And Lou is the only one brave enough to go in there and check it out. Well, he opens the door. What does he see but Annabelle? The doll flies at him, and he doesn't know exactly how it happened, but he ended up with deep scratches all over his chest.
Mm-hmm.
And he swears that it came from Annabelle. Now, if you believe that Lou did it, that's an interesting theory, though. Like, I don't know why he would have done it.
I mean,
but
I don't
a lot
know
of this
why
is
he's
based
staying at their house.
Exactly. Why is he still hanging out with them? Yeah, I mean, it is odd. It is odd.
Come on, Lou.
Come on,
Get your
Lou.
own
Are
place.
you screwing with these girls? Is he pranking them? So they ended up calling an Episcopalian priest who was like, I'm not going to deal with this weird crap. So he called a couple called Ed and Lorraine Warren. Apparently the Warrens are very famous paranormal writers or investigators. I need to look into them more.
Mm-hmm.
Last podcast on the left could tell you all about them. But the Warrens had a completely different conclusion from the medium. They said there's no ghost in this doll. This was an inhuman spirit. It was a demon that was attached to the doll. They warned the girls, this doll is not possessed. And they said, demons don't possess things, only people. What was happening is the demon was clinging to the doll and manipulating it in order to give the impression that it was moving around.
Like the snake.
Yeah, and that Donna was its real target. So a priest performed an exorcism, and the Warrens took that doll away. Apparently, the doll started levitating after they took it, and from all the weirdness that happened, their solution was to put it in a locked case filled with holy water, like somehow like infused with holy water, and it's to
Salt
this
around
day. Yeah,
the-
it's like in a paranormal museum now.
Is it really, though?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And that's where she is to this day.
Oh, my goodness.
That's the story of Annabelle.
Ooh, it's so freaky.
It's so freaky. So freaky. Dolls, stop it.
I mean, if you're a Bible-believing person, you
Yeah.
know that demons can throw their voices
Yeah.
and make things believe or do things.
Yeah, I know. So why? I mean, why? There's so many questions.
It's so crazy. Like, yeah, why?
Like, did the doll have anything to do with it at all, or did the demons? Let's just play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
And say say that the demon was there. Like, did it hitch a ride on the doll from the flea market, or was it always there and it just used the doll to freak the girls out?
Ugh.
And if it was Lou, then that doesn't explain why the Warrens had issues with the doll when they took it too.
Yeah, that's true.
Crazy
That is true.
stuff.
In my opinion, this is just my opinion, if you believe in like demons
Mhm.
doing it, let's say that that's it. My thought is that honestly, all like spirits, all even good or bad, could be a demon.
Mhm.
Because exactly like it did first by saying, I'm this girl who was found in this in
Yeah,
the woods.
exactly.
Please help me. Like they'll do whatever they can to
Manipulation.
manipulate you.
Yeah.
So that could be by showing you a vision of your long lost granny, and then
That's what's so freaking scary.
exactly.
It's like the movie It.
Honestly, that's kind of what I'd rather believe than it
Yeah.
is my actual granny.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, that's a tough call because, like, you want your granny to be, like, get out of here,
Just
granny, go
resting
have
it.
fun.
Yeah,
Or go
resting,
rest
sleeping.
or do what you need to do. But you also don't want to be like, dude, Satan, like, don't pretend to be my
Yeah.
granny.
like I have no doubt in my mind that they're demons,
Mhm.
but I do not think that my family are stuck as
Mhm.
ghosts on Earth.
Yeah.
I think that, in my opinion, this is just me, I feel like it makes more sense that they would be trying to manipulate your thoughts. And I think that that's a lot of why people believe, like,
Yeah.
those who actually, like, who continue to believe it, see it more, because maybe those demons do realize,
They're
like,
open to
this
that
is a person that's open to
manipulation.
it. Same with kids. Like, they're
Yeah.
open to seeing these things.
Yeah.
Whereas, those of us, like myself, who have been like, no, F you.
Mhm.
Like, my grandma's just resting happily. Like, I know that you're not
Yeah.
an actual thing. You can't get in.
It reminds me of something C.S. Lewis says in the Screw Tape Letters. In the intro to it, he says that the devil doesn't mind pushing people into opposite errors, either making people believe he doesn't exist or making them overly obsessed with him. Either one works.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Oh, that gave me more goosebumps than anything else. Oh,
No,
I just want my mommy.
Doreen. It's okay. We're safe.
Okay, I think.
We're safe from demons.
Oh my gosh. That whole thing reminds me of, I really like YouTubers, and my favorite is Graveyard Girl.
Yeah.
Her name sounds like she's just obsessed with graveyards. That's not her at all. I mean, she does like paranormal things, but she does a lot of, does this thing really work, which is like, as seen on TV stuff, unboxing videos, fashion videos, makeup videos, just vlogs. She's just a person that you want to be around. And so I love watching. I've watched every one of her videos that there is. You just love being around her and watching her. And she does, she tries to do Vlogoween every October, where she does an episode every day of October.
Oh,
and
love her.
I know. She collects dolls. Like, she's a collector of all things antiques, and especially dolls. I mean, she has hundreds and hundreds, from full dolls to like just her heads to just body parts. And there was one in particular, you should just watch her latest episode on it.
Okay.
Like, it's a long story about this doll that she got at this place called Uncommon Objects in Austin. And that's where she's gotten like 80% of her dolls and all of her antiques.
I wanna go there.
I do too, so badly. This doll in particular, she'd been looking at for a long time. I think like years, like a couple years at least, and finally decided to get it. And from the moment that she was even driving home with it, she felt incredibly uncomfortable. And she said even before she got it, there were things that were like instances that were happening that were like kind of signs of like, you don't need this doll, don't take it
Like
with you.
foreboding kind of.
And the one time that she was getting ready to buy it, she got real sick, like immediately ill as she was getting ready to ask to have it taken down, had to leave, left, didn't come back, didn't get the doll.
Oh my gosh.
Came back, got it, and then this just stuff kept happening. And she had like a rough full year. I mean,
oh my gosh.
she had it in her house, and then she put it into storage and was still like plagued by it. The thought of it, could only think about what she was going to do with the doll, what the doll was doing, like where it needed to go. She didn't want to send it with anybody. She didn't want to sell it because she was scared of what would happen to other people, like whoever she sold it to, whoever she sent it with. And in the end, she ended up like having somebody come and pack it. Like, she didn't have anything to do with that part. She had somebody come, package it, and send it back to Uncommon Objects. Some couple from Australia ended up getting it.
Oh God.
And she kind of wants to know, like she still thinks about it.
Did anything happen with it?
What is happening? Yeah, has anything happened with them? But even they had sent like a picture of the doll when it arrived at Uncommon Objects, sent it to her, and said like it arrived safely. And she deleted the message. She deleted the picture, and then the next week got a new phone. She was that adamant about not having it have anything to do with her anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean,
and this is someone who's like pretty immune to being freaked out by this stuff.
Yes. I mean, like I said, she has
hundreds
upon hundreds. Like, this whole room that she films in most of the time is giant, and it's full of just dolls upon dolls. And she does say that she has some items that she feels like do have something going on with them, some sort of history. Maybe they're a little haunted, but not anything menacing. And this one was, and when the way she describes it, it just sounds, I can't get the picture out of my head, and I didn't even see it. She wouldn't she wouldn't
Yeah, I
even post a
imagine
picture.
she
She was
wouldn't-
like,
yeah.
I'm not doing it to you. I don't know what would
Yeah.
happen to you. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. And she's,
That's how I felt when I saw the picture of Annabelle today. I was
Oh,
like, I wish
don't
I'd
even-
never seen this.
yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So crazy. And I think, I mean, why wouldn't things like that with so much history to them and life and death, just the things they've seen more than what we have, you know,
So strange.
Really.
Wow, guys.
without their eyes, with their beady little black eyes.
Post pictures, please send us pictures of your creepiest dolls. And Christoph Nikolai Ketsup, please send us a picture and ask your wife what the doll's name is. If it
I don't
has
even
one.
want to know. It's Pennywise. I showed you the picture that I got, right? Or the picture that I have in there of 5-year-old Melody getting a bride doll, a giant, like 3
you
foot tall
did.
bride
Yes.
doll.
Yeah.
I have this pissed off look on my face because my grandmother knew that I was a little freaked out of dolls and she collected them. And so she assumed that I needed one. And she gives me this big ass bride doll. And I was just like, even 5-year-old Melody had no poker face at all. I was just like,
Especially 5-year-old Melody.
very, very irritated that I got this thing.
That
it
makes
just
me think
freaked
of
me
something
out.
Emmy would do.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. I think we might have even had the same haircut around then.
Oh, the best.
No, I don't think then I did.
Speaking of Emmy, though, I mean, I basically live with a beautiful
I
little
was just
haunted doll.
gonna say that. Yes. She's so precious and pristine and amazing. You just want to look at her and put her on a shelf. And she would definitely hop down from that shelf and stab you in your sleep.
Oh, yeah. I heard her playing a game today, and she said, want to find all the people and kill them. Where are you people?
Listen, I don't want to push therapy on anyone. I just want to let you know that it
It's an
exists.
option.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they can handle her.
Oh my gosh. Well, I love her
I do too. I love her a lot.
so much. She's the cutest. So should we talk about something good, something
A
weird,
good
bad,
weird
something
and a
weird?
bad weird?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Either way. Well, I'll go ahead and go first.
Go.
Since you're giving me that look of
Oh, I don't care. I really don't.
go now.
Go.
No, I didn't think you were giving me that look at all. So I have a bad weird, but it has a good ending.
Okay.
So this is something I actually read about Halloween. I was looking at just interesting things that have happened, interesting creepy trivia about Halloween because it makes me happy. And I found this from Reader's Digest. So this guy in Oregon bought a graveyard kit for decorating his yard from a Kmart, local Kmart. And when he opened it up, he found a note. And it was written by a Chinese factory worker. And the note said, "We are being tortured and enslaved in a forced labor camp, making toys 15 hours a day with no pay and no days off." And he pleaded in the letter for her to forward it to the Human Rights Organization, World Human Rights Organization. Thankfully, actually it was a woman that found it, I'm sorry. Thankfully, the woman who found the note in the graveyard kit did just that. And the Chinese worker was freed when the camp was exposed months later. I mean, it's so heartbreaking, but also so amazing.
I am okay.
Oh,
I'm
she's
genuinely crying right now. It makes me so sad
Mhm.
that somebody has to do that so
I
that we
know.
can have some
Stupid
foolish,
decoration.
stupid decoration.
I know.
For one. And for two, that person was brave enough
Yeah.
to, I mean,
They could
that
been
could have
killed.
gotten caught and they could have gotten killed.
And just that on the tiniest off chance that someone was actually going to read it and do
They
something
had
about
no,
it.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like for one to hope that somebody would read it, but then
Yeah.
to think that they would actually do something and
Yeah.
not think that it.
It's incredible.
Shooketh.
Shook it to my core. And I want to make my own Halloween decorations.
That's what I was
always
just gonna
now.
say. Like, do what Vu's doing. Make
Yes.
your own. Do not. I mean, it's the same with so many things
Know
that
where your
we
stuff is
take for
coming
granted.
from.
Know where your stuff is coming from. It's
Yeah.
like fast fashion.
Yes,
And
Forever 21. I
yes.
mean, I'm starting to feel a little dirty about shopping
I
there.
kind of am too. These kind of things, like, they are happening. We have got to be, for one, aware. And if you're not aware, at least be grateful that you are where you are right now, able
you
to
don't even
listen
have
to
to
some
know.
stupid ass podcasts
Yes.
about nothing.
About nothing.
Because that person may never have that kind of experience. And oh my God, I could go down this rabbit hole for days. But
I know, it's heartbreaking.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy that they did the whole thing get exposed and everybody
Yes,
was freed.
Everybody was in that camp was freed because of this. Because of this brave person and this woman who actually took the note seriously.
I cannot even believe that.
I know.
I feel so much like I want to find that person and give them the biggest hug, both of them.
Yeah.
I want them to be united, and I want the person that was freed to have I want them to come live with me, and I want to spoil them.
Never work a day in their life again.
and just get paid money for a living, because
and I will not even talk about how much I love Halloween, because they're probably freaking sick of it.
I know, they're like, we don't even celebrate this stupid
This was
holiday.
torture. We don't
It's
even
ridiculous.
know. Yeah,
what does this even mean? This is freaky, you freaks.
it really is freaky. We really are freaks.
Ugh.
I'll go on to my good weird, which is sort of the opposite of fast fashion, which we've already mentioned. Was that I have been dreaming of finding vintage muumuus.
Haunted muumuus.
That's
Possibly.
for Mel and I to record in, and my son, who is just the coolest. Every weekend, if we ask him, what do you want to do? We have some family time. He says, I want to go look at antique stores and look for weird things.
I love
He loves it. And he loves the Rusty Chair. It's in downtown Rogers. If you haven't been there, it's full of great stuff.
Yes, it is.
And just draped over, like I said, it was like draped over some sort of vintage crib or something. There was this pile of beautiful, intricately sewn, just cool ass muumuus. And I found what I thought was the absolute perfect one for Mel, and what I found was one for me too.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I'm gonna let her pick though.
Yeah.
And she of course picked the one that I knew she would pick, because it's her all over. But they may be haunted. But I'm going to say that it's good because I feel good juju from the muumuus. I don't feel any bad.
I totally do
I feel
too.
like it's just like a really chill Hawaiian mama who's just like doing her thing and her muumuus all day long.
Knitting.
The best spam and ramen.
Oh, yeah.
On
And
the beach.
I love it. And also yours matches your Fitbit and your soon-to-be hair.
Yes.
Mine matches my shoes and
Your
my soon-to-be hair. We won't tell you what color. You'll have to look on our Instagram to find out.
You're going to be so excited.
I think I just said what colors.
I think we did. We said it in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
But we can either delete it or we can just roll with it like we always do.
We can see if people actually listen this far.
You better.
You darn better.
If
We'll
you're not
haunt
listening,
you.
We will haunt you ourselves.
Every single person in the world, know if you don't listen to this episode, you're going to be haunted. So
and you may start dancing.
You may start dancing uncontrollably.
Forever.
Forever.
Do you have a good weird and a bad weird?
Sorry. Yes, I have a good weird. I had 2 great weddings this weekend. I had a Friday and a Saturday wedding. One was my good friend Christoph Nikolai Ketchup.
I got to be there.
She got to meet him for the first time. I, unfortunately, have known him for years.
Did you see how terrified he looked when I hugged him?
He's like, oh, we're doing this?
Oh, this is happening. Yeah.
Okay. I'm kidding. Not unfortunately. It's been very fortunate. I'm glad that I know him.
He's helped us a lot.
Yes, he's helped us a lot. He has
encouraged us.
Encouraged. He's been just wonderful. And I was very happy to be there to photograph their union of souls.
It was beautiful. Union of souls. I like it.
Thank you.
It was beautiful and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like a starry, breezy.
It was nothing like you expect from a wedding, and I loved that.
Exactly. They didn't make anyone feel like they were part of some kind of robotic ceremony like some weddings could feel like.
Yeah.
It's just like we were all there.
It was great. And they looked cute.
Really
they looked adorable. She had her nails did in nice
Razor sharp
like
points.
stiletto point
Yeah.
nails, and she had a 13 on
Friday the 13th.
Yep, they got married on Friday the 13th. And then she had on a cute ring that was a coffin made out of turquoise, I think.
I think so.
It was so cool. I want that ring
And her
real bad.
grandmother's dress.
Her grandmother's dress, her grandmother's ring, right?
Yeah, she was just stunning. She
Yeah.
was so beautiful.
A vision, for sure. Yeah. So there was that, and then there was my other friend Kirsten's wedding.
And I wish I could have gone to this one. It looks so beautiful.
Yeah, it was loosely based on Harry Potter, but in a very glamorous, very it was just very stunning. It was very, very good, very well done, and it was just great to be there and see her finally have this happen.
2 friends' weddings.
Yes.
2 days.
How could that be? I mean, like, I told people that I had 2 weddings this weekend, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be exhausted, double wedding weekend," and I'm like, "Yeah, but it's not like work. Like it's crazy that I have to call it work because yes, I was tired. Yes, I was,
But in a way, like you just had an
it was just wore out. That's it. Yeah, it was so good, and I loved it very much. My bad weird is that, did I have a bad weird?
I don't know. I love that you don't. You say it so confidently, and then you stop and you're like, wait, I have nothing.
I don't think I had.
You don't have a bad weird if you don't have one.
I know. That dickwad that murdered the Swedish news. What the fuck do you call them?
Newscaster?
Is that?
I don't know. Is this a story?
What's
I've
the
heard?
word? Journalist.
Oh.
Is that it? News.
Oh wait, do you mean the guy in the submarine?
The submarine guy.
Yeah.
The submarine shithead that murdered the girl. Well, more body parts have been discovered.
Freaking
And that's
monster. Yeah, he tried to claim that it was some kind of
that she hit her, something malfunctioned, and hit her in the head, and she died. So he had to bury her at sea, but then her head was turned up and it had nothing wrong with it. Like, it was just decapitated.
That's so bizarre. It's so bizarre too because there's like everyone knew she was with him, right?
Yes.
So it's like, why did he do it? He was just that he couldn't resist his impulse to kill this person.
Yes, and they've found a lot of incriminating videos and stuff that he has, I don't think, been part of, but that he's like in his browser history and stuff. And I think that they're saying now that he may be linked to a lot of missing people.
Oh, God. Well, I hope, the only good thing about that is that he's been caught and hopefully brought to justice for everything that he has done.
Yeah.
And that he'll never be able to do it again.
I agree. And because he's still claiming like that he had nothing to do with her murder. And I don't know. It's such a weird situation. Like the submarine, the stupid submarine was crowdfunded by like GoFundMe, kind of thing. And he had more things like that. Like he's just been like, people have been funding his psychopathy.
That just kills me because it's like, it's someone like it's someone who's obviously so talented, so smart, so good at business. And why does he have to ruin it by just being an evil monster?
Go out to sea on your own and do those weird things and invent your shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it cool anymore when you use it as a murder marine.
Yeah, like if you kill someone in a submarine, I'm sorry, but I don't care how smart you are, you're a moron.
Yeah, exactly.
If only the two of you are in the submarine, try to get away with that.
Yeah, it's true. I think it also like pisses me off because it was a Swedish news reporter, and Sweden is my home.
Yeah, you have such a special place for Sweden
in my heart. Yeah,
we love you, Sweden.
We love you, Sweden, and leave my friends alone there.
Leave all her friends alone because they may be nice. They may not fight back.
Yeah. But they could kill you, actually.
They will kill you. They're tougher than
ruthless.
Than you think.
And toothless. No, they're not. They all have teeth.
Oh, they do. Very nice ones.
Beautiful teeth, beautiful hair, cute little butts.
Ah, squeezy squeeze. And it's air squeeze to your butt, Sweden.
Do you feel it?
We love you.
We like you.
We care about you.
And we hope that you tell all your friends we like cotton candy.
Bye.
Wave when we wave.